What's going on, Space Cadet Nation? It's your boy Stoney coming to you live from the TCM Museum in Minnesota. Good afternoon, good evening. It's goddamn Friday night. We're going to kick off the podcast, kick off the weekend. Welcome to the Space Corps podcast. Of course, we can't be here without the sponsors of the show, Mr. Brett Gill, GILLY, the co-producer of the Space Corps podcast now, by the way. TCM Fan Club is live. If you are any kind of a fan of the chainsaw, you have to check out this website. It's free. There's no bullshit. It's anything, everything Texas Chainsaw that you would ever care to know. Check it out. Plus, it's got that awesome fan forum. So for us old fuckers that used to be on message boards, predating MySpace, Facebook, and all that, you're going to find a kind of a nostalgic feel on there with some little newer bells and whistles, maybe to hook in the younger kids a little bit. But make sure you guys check that stuff out. And then, of course, if you like to support the show, go to spacecorpspodcast.com. Check out the merch page. I just got up the brand new Space Corps shirt that you see there for only $20. Some of us bigger fellas like me, it might be extra couple bucks for the extra, the extra yards of fabric to cover our fat asses. But check it out if you want. Any little bit of the sales comes right back into the show and get better microphones and all this type of stuff. So if you want to support, go ahead. If not, you don't got to spend money. You could just share the page or something, tell your friends about it. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm really excited tonight. Once again, we've got a baller guest on. Without further ado, we've got Mr. Steve Merlo, the director of the Sawyer Massacre. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
Ooh, dude, thank you, man. I was kind of telling you right off air, I was watching this again on my way home, getting jacked up and driving 75, 80 miles an hour. And I go, I really shouldn't be doing this, but I can't help it, man.
That's awesome.
So how long has it been out now? I didn't even check the time.
A few years, just over 3 years now. Yeah, it was 2022 that we released it. The October 2022 we released it and made it earlier that year.
Yeah,
in Texas, but in March.
Okay.
And I'm not actually from Texas. I'm from Canada. I'm from Western Canada.
Yes.
And I was like, let's go to Texas in March because it won't be too hot at that point.
Yeah, right. I know.
I thought to myself, okay, it's not going to be too hot. And we get there and it was freezing. I was like, oh, I thought it was going to be like mild. I thought it was going to be warm, but we actually had to cancel one of our shoot days because it was
really
like a massive storm. It was cold and there was tornadoes after we left. Right after we left,
holy crap!
Back to Canada. It was crazy, but I'll never forget that experience.
Oh,
at least
that's
we
wild.
Didn't have to worry about any snakes or anything like that shooting out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Oh, right. Well, I'm from Minnesota, so I definitely feel you with with the northern side there.
Yeah.
Where, it's like I've never been there yet. And of course, just me being such a big fan of the franchise, I'm like, that's like Mecca. I got to get down there one of these days. But I'm like, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be like something else out there. But I think it's so funny because my day job, I work as I'm a tool director for an electrical contractor, and we do nationwide work. Well, we were doing the Tesla plant down in Texas, and so we had a bunch of our people from Minnesota going down there and working it, and then all of a sudden they got hit with like an ice storm or something, and they were in Austin, I think, and the guys were just cracking up because they're like, it was the like lightest dusting of snow and like freezing rain, where they're like, the city shuts down. I mean, nobody has a 4-wheel drive vehicle because why would you out there, and they're just like, it was so funny. But they rented trucks from up north, so they had 4-wheel. They're like, dude, the whole town was ours the whole night, and that was just so funny.
Wow. That's
that's so cool. So did you shoot all of it in Texas then, or just certain parts?
No, all of it was shot in Texas. We were on a very strict schedule. It was supposed to be a 10-day shooting schedule, but it ended up being 9 because we lost a day of shooting.
Whoa.
But
You
yeah,
did
it
all that
was.
in 10 days, 9 days?
That's what you do when you got no money.
Holy
yeah,
shit. You guys
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
sleep at all.
I didn't. I tried my best to let the cast and crew get as much sleep as they could, but man, it was
Whoa.
it was you know when you shoot a movie for under 50 grand, any movie that for under that much, you're just you are penny pinching any way you can because it's just
Sure.
it's uh it's tough, especially a period
Wow.
piece like ours, you know. It's amazing how much I get crap from people saying, "Oh my God, that truck's got the rims on it that are new," and like, "Oh my God, we had no freaking money. This was all we could get." At least
Yeah.
the car itself was time period accurate.
Right.
All the vehicles were time period accurate, except the damn rims come back to haunt me on that stupid
Yeah,
truck
dude.
every time.
Well, and so that was one thing as I was watching again today, I go, how just having to also have that in the back of your mind or in the front of your mind probably is that like, hey, we the first thing you do is you establish the time period of this movie. And in my head as a viewer, I'm like, okay, are they going to be wearing like modern clothes? Is there going to be that little slip up somewhere about all the vehicles that started coming in, and I'm just like, man, that made me think right there. I go, how do I want to phrase this question? Does that almost like make you go, ugh, from a budget standpoint? Because all of a sudden that's got to be more expensive, trying to find, an older car like that versus just any random car, right?
It is, and the whole vehicle situation was so tough. It was so tough, and we got lucky in some cases and not so lucky in other cases. And originally when we were like just days away from shooting, we actually had like 7 old vehicles lined up,
Okay.
and all of a sudden the night before, one person canceled, and they had 2 vehicles, so it was like, okay, we're down to 5 now. so so we went from 7 to 5, and then that same night the production manager is like, okay, you got to drive with me to this other place in Texas to go pick up these vehicles. So we're picking them up and we're driving them ourselves, which is a big no-no, by the way. You shouldn't do that. They should always be in charge of their own vehicles, but we did, and one of them wouldn't start, so we're down more vehicles. And then we had a no-show on the day of filming, and I think we were down to 2 vehicles that day, and we needed 5. We actually needed 5 for the movie, and I had to improvise, and I was on the horn a lot of that first day of filming, just trying to find somebody with a car, and I had to pay the higher price, unfortunately,
Right.
because you
Of
got to do what you
course.
do. But still, we only had 3 actual shooting vehicles that we got to work with, other than the vehicles that are just kind of laying around at that gas station, because
Yeah.
that guy was a car collector, but he wouldn't let us touch his cars. So,
Sure.
but at least they're there and they look nice. But
Well,
we
and like
made
you're
it
saying, like
work.
letting people, like them letting you drive the vehicles and stuff. I mean,
I
it's just
know.
like, what kind of
I
what
get
kind of
in this old
insurance do you not have on that?
I get in this old 1950s car. I'm driving this thing. I've never driven a car this old, and it is really weird to drive these old cars. And the fact that it would just kept, every time you stop the car, it wouldn't start up again. And I've never
Whoa.
driven in Texas before, so I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to drive this anymore. I think we'll find a way around it, and we'll just take the one car that these guys have, and we'll figure out something else. I felt like that was a huge liability,
Oh yeah.
so I didn't do it. But but if I'm being totally honest about the vehicles, the rims don't bother me, but I'm not much of a car guy.
Yeah.
So me personally, they don't bother. They bother a lot of people, and that I get that. I totally understand why.
Sure.
But man, there's some other, like even the remake of Texas Chainsaw
Yeah.
Massacre had some time period inaccuracies,
Sure. Some
so
discrepancies, right?
and that's intentional. That's kind of it. Like I've learned working in the film industry that they do try to make a balance of, the time period it took place and the time period that it came out, so you get something that
Sure.
people can relate to. So you see some of their outfits kind of look, a little bit more modernized, and they're
Sure.
using modern lingo and all this kind of stuff. I get that too, but at the same
Yeah.
time, if it takes place in 1973, it should take place in 1973.
Yeah.
But
You know,
to the best that you can. When you're on a budget, there's only so much you can do. But
of course. And I think that there's definitely some mental forgiveness, knowing that this is not some Hollywood big budget, whatever. We're like this is, I mean, it's, I don't know, I don't don't know if that's a negative term to put it, but this is a fan film, right? I mean,
Yeah,
this
it's a
is,
fan.
and God bless you for doing it, man. Because that's one thing I want to say right off the bat is that not only like we'll talk, how I feel really about the movie, but just in general, the fact that as a fan of the franchise, you being able to produce a piece that adds to the universe of it is just
Yeah.
amazing because luckily for TCM, we've gotten movies throughout the years. It's not just we're holding on to two from the 70s and 80s. I mean, luckily it's coming along, but still, I mean, our appetites are for more. We want more, and the second that we can get something extra, whether it's I thought it was awesome. So I really appreciate you spending your time, your money, your artistic vision on it. I mean, obviously, I'm sure it's rewarding for you in general to do it. I mean, you must be a fan of Chainsaw, of course.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't,
dude. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and I'm personally glad to see that there's more feature length Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan films coming out, and they're pretty good. I'm excited that that's happened.
Mhm.
I don't know if my film was a direct result of that, but
Oh, it was. It was.
I
You know
hope
it
it
was.
was. I don't know. It was the first feature length Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan film. So now there's a couple more. So let's hope we see more. And the last one I saw was actually pretty good.
That's
I have
nice.
to say. I can't remember. It was the Slaughter family. I think it was called the Slaughter family or something like that.
Sure.
It was quite good. There was, obviously you can tell it's got some budget problems too,
Yeah.
and it's just what you got to expect when these people make it for nothing. But you can at least see the passion that goes into it. And, yep.
Absolutely. And the fact on, prior to even hearing that you did it in 9 days just blows my mind now because when I was watching it again, I just go, it's an hour and a half. I mean, this is a full ass movie,
Yeah.
and that's just excuse me. It's done so well. The video production, everything about it. It does not it's not screaming low budget. They were just working with shitty cameras. I mean, dude, it's really nice. I'm like, it's very impressive.
Okay.
It honestly is, dude.
I can't take all the credit. It wasn't my cameras. It wasn't I wasn't the sound guy. It was just, I was the director and I had a certain vision. And, I kind of got that vision a little bit across. It was really tough because,
Yeah.
the cinematographer had a great camera, but he was a little limited on like gear that, to get the types of movements I wanted and all that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
The sound guy was great though. I thought probably the best sound guy I ever worked with.
Oh, that's so cool.
The guy I worked with on my last film was pretty good too, but man, that sound guy was just meticulous on every little detail. I felt bad for him because we filmed in an area of Texas where there's like an airport here, an airport like on all four corners of the town. So it was like every time a plane went by, it's like we had to wait on sound because you
yeah.
have
Right.
and
then game on. All right, let's hurry up.
So because of stuff like that, we had to shoot a lot of this stuff in one take. It was like the actors got one take. So I'm proud of those actors, man. And some people say, oh, some of the acting's a little shady here and there. I'm like, yeah, well, they had one take. They pretty much had one take. If we were running ahead of schedule, maybe they got two, but it was I didn't like I could hardly direct them. We didn't have time. It was just you're shooting a movie in 9 days. You just gotta go. So
hey, I want to point out here real quick too. So, Steve, this is one of our first times now we're actually live on YouTube versus Facebook. So it's really cool to start to see the extra people hopping in here. So I just got to give a shout out to AKs for Days. He said he doesn't know how he even found this, but he's going through like Facebook Shorts and all of a sudden found us. So what up, dude? I hope you like the show. Make sure you subscribe and that shit, dude. Live every Friday. We're always talking horror, movies, music. You fucking name it, dude. So. Just got to give the shout outs when we can, man. So,
anyway. Oh, definitely.
But yeah, dude, I can totally feel with like you're saying by airports where I grew up in Bloomington, Minnesota. It was right next to the MSP airport, and still to this day as a kid, like the sound of a blaring airplane, it puts me to sleep, man, because that's just what I was used to. But having conversations with people, everybody finds also you do pause for a minute, and you don't even realize you do it. You just let it go. And also, okay, back in. So it's like, yeah, especially you got that many going on there. It's almost, you almost got to start to feel a little nervous. You're like, when's the next one coming? Okay, can we get this whole, shot done before?
I know, before the next one comes, and yet you don't have a choice sometimes, and it's the way she goes. But we made it. It's a little. I think the one thing it suffers from the movie was it's a little patchy. You
Okay.
could tell that there's, there should have been a little bit more on each scene, and it's just I think that though was more the fact that we just had 9 days. I didn't have. Once my plane left from Texas, I wasn't going back. I didn't have money to go back to Texas, so I didn't have a chance to go and do reshoots or anything like that. So
Sure.
that kind of sucks. I look back and then I'm like, oh, I wish we could have got some pickup shots here for this
Yeah.
and this and
Hey,
you
dude,
do what you can.
you still pull an hour and a half. It's still, I can't believe that, man. And I don't know. I mean, is that literally, almost 24 hours, each day just to get that much, footage and all that?
No, because there are labor rules and all this kind of stuff. So you have to work around them. But I mean, I as a director had longer days, and the cinematographer had long days, excuse me, the longest days, and they were probably in the area of 12 to 15-hour days.
Okay.
So some of the cast, so we had kids on set, stuff like that. So we had to make sure that we stayed within the labor laws of that. And so,
Sure.
yeah, I mean,
fair enough.
It's gotta obey the rules the best you can. This was not
on the record
or anything, but yeah. No, you do the best you can. You don't want to piss anybody off. That's
Sure.
that's the way she goes.
Well, so now that's kind of interesting. Again, as me, that's not somebody who's in filmmaking and stuff like that. Is that my assumption would have been that if you're shooting kind of indie films, fan films, that I didn't know it was that stringent on labor laws and things like that. So when you decide, hey, I'm going to make this movie, what do you have to do? Do you have to register? Like do you pull a permit type of thing with like the? I mean, how do they even know that you're out there making the movies, let alone to be adhering to those laws and standards?
Depends on where you are. We did have to have. We were supposed to have a permit. Well, actually, we did have a permit. I shouldn't say we didn't. We had a permit for the one town that we actually filmed in.
Okay, sure.
We did actually do a little bit of in-town filming, but when you're out of town, the boundaries of the town, you don't need a permit for that. So
okay,
you just do it at your own risk or whatever, and you won't hear anything for it. But what ended up happening was the little bit that we were shooting in the town, which was, we spent maybe, I don't know, an hour at the most filming this stuff that was in town.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was very, very tight. There wasn't much.
Sure.
And then I did all the paperwork for the permit, which was a lot, by the way. They wanted to see like car parking areas, and they wanted they wanted to make sure it was 100% going to work logistically. And I get that.
Sure.
But I did all that, sent it in, and then after they sent me a bill for $500, I was like, well, we were here for like an hour, and we didn't block traffic. We didn't, it was literally an hour. I was kind of pissed off that they were going to charge me $500 just for that.
Yeah.
But thankfully, my production manager, I don't know, he was like a godsend that way. Shout out to Chris Parcini if he is.
Nice.
If there's any chance he is listening or watching. But yeah, he went out and reached out to the town of Bartlett, Texas, and they got it. They removed the fee on that, and we just said, we're going to put your name in the credits.
Nice.
And, special thanks to the town of Bartlett, Texas.
That's cool.
And it worked out pretty well.
Excellent.
Can't complain. It's less money I had to spend.
Right. So another one I got to ask now too is, or at least here's the first statement, is that the Leatherface looks fucking awesome, man. It's just some of these ones, also in the mask, you go, they really missed the mark. Like, I mean, you really cast the right dude. The size of him's good, but the mask was really killer. Like, how did that come about? Did you have somebody mold and sculpt that? Did you doctor up, just an existing something, or?
So we had 4 different masks. I don't know if you paid, and a lot of people missed this in the film. So I'm a very originalist when it comes to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That Leatherface wears masks to take on a personality.
Yes, right.
So the first mask I actually had made here in Canada with an SFX artist that I've worked with in the past, and she really wanted to be a part of it. So I let her make one of the masks, and she was going to base it on the character you see in the opening of the film that's entering the house. So it's implied that that's his face. So I don't know if you can make the connection. She didn't actually mold it from his face though, because he lives way in Pennsylvania or something like that. You know, but we took a picture of his face and she tried to make it look as much like that actor's face as possible. And the idea kind of behind it, and it's so vague in the film. Again, this is kind of where I wanted to tell more story and get more story in there and stuff like that. But he is supposed to be this bracket guy that was a real mean asshole, and we're gonna have that black lady, Trish Powell. She's a local in the film. Give a whole speech on how he was an asshole and he killed somebody for trespassing on his property. So we're gonna make him out to be like a killer. And that was gonna be like an early version of the Killing Mask. So that was sort of the idea behind it, but it never really got explained in the film. There's a lot of things that we didn't get to explain in the film due to budget and all that kind of stuff. But that was the idea behind that particular mask, the first mask that he wears in the film. Then the other three masks were actually had life casts of the actors that he took the faces from. One being Josh Gurnick, who played Bob. The another one being Jordan Fortes, who played I'm forgetting the names of the characters.
It's all good, man.
Brant, when he had his face cut off on the so we had those two, and then they had the mom and father characters in the film that were killed after their daughters were killed. And the idea with that
spoiler alert, sorry.
Yeah, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, go watch the movie first. But
it's free, you guys. Go watch it.
The idea behind that last mask, though, is it's the guy's face, the father's face, and her hair.
Oh, cool.
And that the idea with that mask in particular is that this is him becoming the parental figure. So it ties into the end theme of the whole movie. Oh, yes. So he's now ready to become the parent, and that's if you've seen the movie, you kind of get what the implications are of the ending. Some people still don't know what the ending means with the baby crying and all that stuff, and maybe I'm too vague. I don't know. But if you got that reference, that's what it means, and that's why he wore that particular mask. Wow. And there's a reason that like he's taking on a personality for each mask he's wearing. Like the Bob character was a bit of a jokester. He's joking around with the boys and all that kind of stuff. So he wore that to play a joke on those boys.
Sure.
And it was kind of the ultimate joke. It was so I don't know. You have to look at it kind of differently that way. But a little bit of foreshadowing with Branch is the character who's always taking care of his face. He loves his face.
Yep.
And if anything ever happens to this face,
right? I'll
kill myself. And then so what happens is Leatherface takes off his face, puts on his face, and kills him. It's like he's seeing himself kill himself. So it's So
it's so cool. How long did it take you to write?
Got that?
How long did it take you to write the whole the script for this?
Well, I mean, I started back in like 20. I mean, I wrote a short story for it first, way back when the remake came out. Because I like the remake, but there's certain things about it I wish they did differently. But if you really watch Sawyer Massacre, you can see some similarities, some homages I paid to the remake. So I wrote just a short story first, because way back when I was in my 20s, I didn't know anything about writing scripts. And I just kind of sat on that for a little while, this little short story. And then when I met my now wife, she was very interested in my writing and that kind of stuff. And she said to me, "Why don't you try to turn this movie into a script?" And I wrote a bunch of different versions of it. I made a short version of of it called First Annual Barbecue. You can find that on YouTube as well.
Oh,
Which I
really?
made here in Canada. Yeah, and you'll see the similarities, and but you can tell it's
I
shot
gotta
in
check that
Canada.
out. That's
You can tell
awesome.
it's shot in Canada. That's all I'll say. But and it was my first film, so the acting's really bad in that, and the editing and the camera and the sound is all horrendous in that. But you'll see the similarities at least, where
Sure.
how that script evolved into Sawyer Massacre eventually. Because I put it away after I made the First Annual Barbecue. I put the Texas Chainsaw Massacre away and did other stuff in the film world.
Yeah.
Did other short films, and even made a feature film that had never been released, still hasn't been released. And
Still
then,
to this day?
to this day, it's just
Oh,
got too many technical issues.
okay.
Too many technical issues, and maybe one day I'll release it, but just cause. But
Yeah.
I've just moved on to these other films, and I just I had to do it.
Sure.
I had to move on basically. And for some reason the Sawyer Massacre came back. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan film idea came back to me when I was scouting a location
Oh,
for somebody back in 2019. This person just wanted me to look for a house that was an old house, and I found an old house here in Canada that I thought, oh, that's the kind of house I'm looking at for Grandpa's house in my
sure.
fan film. And all of a sudden, I've got people asking me about this Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan film, and a lot of interest just seemed to generate out of that. Out of that. So I don't know. I thought to myself, maybe I need to go back to this Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing and see if
Yes.
I can actually make the full feature. And so I decided, let's just make a concept trailer. We'll use this old house in Canada, and we'll make a concept trailer. We'll make an Indiegogo campaign to see if I can raise a few bucks for it. And maybe I'll even promote it as we'll film it in Texas, but we probably won't film it in Texas because we'll never
Sure.
raise enough money to film it in Texas. So in 2020, when we finally launched the campaign, I didn't think there was any chance that we're going to raise enough money to actually film the movie in Texas. But there was a couple things that I think were going for me.
Okay.
The biggest thing was, I think a lot of fans were pissed off that they're making official Texas Chainsaw Massacre films in Bulgaria now.
Okay.
And I think they got excited hearing a guy from Canada is promising to shoot his movie in Texas if he can raise the funds. So I started receiving messages from people from Texas or near Texas saying, "Hey man, I want to support your film. I'll get killed in the film perk if you, as long as you're shooting in Texas. I ain't going to Canada to film this."
Yeah.
This scene. I'm not going to support your film if you shoot in Canada, but if you go to Texas, I'm right behind you. I heard that. I got so many messages about that. And that's the reason why we shot the movie in Texas, because I had to. If I didn't, I would have been out half the money we raised at least.
Sure.
That's just a guess. So it was always more worth it for us to shoot the movie in Texas.
Oh man,
I had no idea that it was going to blow up like that, but it did. It just I mean, it's still modest money. It's still, I think we raised somewhere around 50 grand US.
That's fucking awesome, man.
It was around there, and people raise more. The Never Hike Alone guys raise a lot more than I do. I'll tell you that. But hey, it's 50 grand for a fan film, and
sure.
Obviously that's not what you get to make the movie, because you got perks you got to fulfill, and Indiegogo takes their cut.
They take their cut,
yeah, they take their cut. So I mean, when all is said and done, we made the movie for over 30 grand.
Okay.
So which was fine by me. I thought, hey, it's not a ton of money, but we would have made it for probably 3 grand here in Canada. So
right.
I'll take the 30 grand and make it in Texas.
Absolutely. How long did it take you for the fundraising and all that? Was that pretty quick for it to come together?
Not right away. When our first crowdfunding campaign started at the end of 2020.
Okay.
And it was more modest. I think we've raised around 4 grand or maybe 3 grand US, something in that. So it was modest. And then when they took me seriously is when I cast a lot of people in Texas, and I actually got them to film stuff for the concept trailer in Texas. So I had a mix of stuff I shot in Canada and a mix of stuff we shot in Texas.
Okay.
For this concept trailer, released that in spring of 2021. And that was when people started to take notice. They saw that, hey, this was shot in Texas.
Yeah.
Or some of it was. About half of it was. About half the trailer was
Sure.
shot in Texas. And that's when it kind of started to go really well. Also, the fact that we had John Dugan in the concept trailer helped. He did the voiceover for Grandpa.
Oh, that's cool, Johnny Dugan.
Yeah. Hey, it's the only thing you'll ever hear John Dugan actually speak as Grandpa in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's a cool merit right there. I like cool. That. That's really cool.
I wish he could have been in our film. He gave me reasons why he couldn't be in the film. I totally respect them. He seems like a great guy. I don't know if you've ever met John Dugan before.
Yeah, I had him on the podcast. He's
that's
great,
awesome.
Man.
That's great. He is a nice guy. So I gotta give him that. I wish he could have actually played Grandpa, but at the same time, I think we cast a pretty good Grandpa in our film.
Yeah.
And he did great. So I mean, if I wasn't going to have John Dugan, Les Best did an amazing job. So shout out to Les for doing it.
He did great, job. Man. Yeah. John, one hell of a human being. You know, when I had him on, he had quite a few beverages that night, so we started getting pretty pretty loosened up. It was great to have on. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, this podcast has just been really fun because, you know, I first started out when I was collecting TCM. I was going to open up an actual Texas Chainsaw Massacre museum up here in Minnesota. So it was going to be Stoney's TCM Museum in Minnesota. I went through 2 different lease agreements, and the first one I just didn't feel right on, and then the second one was right when COVID started and all that, and I really started to think about it, and I go, you know, I'm like, how realistic is this if I commit to an actual lease I have to pay money for, and yet I have a family, I have a career. I said, and it's not going to generate any money, you know. I said, unless I, you know, really get into, you know, flying in guests and doing, you know, things. You know, so I kind of just scrapped it for right now. Not saying I would never do it later on, but so instead, I'm like, well, I got this fucking awesome collection, you know, that just keeps growing. I go, well, that's like production value right here. I go, I'll just do a podcast out of it, you know, and during, you know, before this, we used to on all these horror groups. We would it's really based around COVID times because so many people were just at home, and it was such a good outlet for everybody to really kind of become a good community together and just get to know everybody because we couldn't go anywhere, right? You know?
Yeah.
And then we had all this stimulus money to buy collectibles and support in, you know, campaigns like yours and stuff. And sure, hey, let's just throw all this out there. But so we used to do all these raffle things, right? You know, like you'd put up an item, everybody would buy a couple of spots, and then we would do these live drawings. And this is where it really stemmed from. So it was like everybody would tune in for the drawing, but it wasn't just about that. It was like a social hour, you know. It's like a drawing could take you 5 minutes. Well, I'd stretch them into like an hour, you know. We'd all shoot the shit. We've been having cocktails and just talk shit, and it was so much fun. And that was where it really kind of stemmed. I go, well, let's just do that, but you know, not with the gambling side of it, you know, that we were all kind of nervous to get shut down. We all had to have code names and whatever. But, you know, fast forward to now, I've been doing it for, you know, a couple of years, but now I've had people like you on, I've had TCM people. I mean, I've had Brett Wagner, I had Andrew Bernarski, I had like Alan Danziger. He was on, he's actually coming back on next week.
Awesome. I met Alan. Alan was at our premiere.
Dude, he's so cool, man. They're all fucking awesome people, man. Yeah. And I'm just really humbled to be able to just go just from a fan and a collector to all of a sudden now chatting with these people. I mean, like the miracle of the internet. I mean, I'd never be able to, you know, be in that type of position to talk with people like you and whatever. So it's just so cool, man. I'm just really grateful for it. And, you know.
And shout out to Brett Wagner too, because Brett Wagner's in my next film.
Is he? Big swag.
The big swag, yeah. He was actually the first. Dude. He was the first person to reach out to me after the Sawyer Massacre came out, and said, "I want to be in your next film." So I'm like, "Oh, really? Okay."
Twist my arm.
Yeah, you got it. But I had to. I had already written the script for my next film, And I was like, oh, is there a part for him? But
Yeah.
I thought about it because I was on a podcast with him on Doomsday's Crypt before that,
Nice.
not long before that.
Shout
And
out to John. Hell
I heard
yeah.
his voice, and I'm like, your voice is perfect for this one role in my movie.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, he was great. So he's a part of Unseen, my next film, which is I think coming out this year. And Bayview Entertainment's picked it up, so they're
Oh,
releasing
cool.
it. So I think it's coming out
Congrats,
sometime
man.
this year. Thanks. Yeah, it's
Oh,
already been
that's cool.
accepted to a festival, so that's good. But,
Excellent.
many more to come, I hope.
Wow. So, God, how does that feel releasing it into the world? Like,
Oh,
are
it's
you a
great.
nervous wreck? Are you just
A
like,
little bit.
you
You
optimistic?
know?
Let's just see what happens? Or, I mean,
I
do you
mean,
kind of look at it and you go, this is solid. I feel, I'm not nervous about it or,
when the Sawyer Massacre came out, I mean, I knew that there's flaws. I mean, I look at it and I feel like it's choppy. I feel like there's some shots we needed to get that we didn't get, and all this kind of stuff. And there were certain logistical things that we just couldn't do, and that was driving me nuts. Like simple things like dude's hands being tied behind the chair. The way the chairs are, we just couldn't logistically do that. So when
okay.
he's trying to, is he supposed to reach into his pocket with his hands tied?
Uh,
Is what he's supposed to do, and pick out the piece of glass and cut through the rope.
sure.
We couldn't do that, so we just had him shake the ropes off and then reach
Yeah.
into because logistically the way the chairs were, he couldn't reach into your pocket while his hands were tied.
Yeah.
So it's little things like that that pissed me off, that I couldn't do them the way I wanted to do. So I'm like, everybody's gonna see this problem, they're gonna see this problem, and they're gonna see this problem. I knew that there was problems
Yeah.
going into it, and it's funny, they saw other problems that I was like, that really bothered you? But
Uh,
this didn't bother nobody. Not a single person has said to me, how did that guy just shake those ropes off like that?
yeah.
Not a single person, but everybody looks at those rims on that car. Everybody knocks the chainsaw not being on. It's a freaking 1956 chainsaw. Those things don't run. I mean, we did get it running, actually. We actually did get it running. I think we even got it in one shot running.
yeah.
It's
Nice.
a time period. What do you want? Something time period accurate or something that's working perfect? It's like, I don't know. You can't please all these people, but there's so many other
No.
things in Sawyer Massacre that are worse. There's one scene where dude's got blood all over his shirt when he's hanging from the rafter. He's got blood all over. And the next scene upstairs, no blood on his shirt because
Oh, no.
we filmed that stuff earlier. So we were like trying to hide him in the shadows, and the editor took out all the stuff where his shirt was totally exposed.
Yeah.
But you can still tell if you're looking for it. And
Sure.
even the actor was freaking out. The actor Briley, he was like, man, they're all gonna see that. They're all gonna laugh at me for not having blood on my Nobody saw it.
Right.
Nobody saw it. Nobody.
That's
So
so
I don't
funny.
know. I never know what to expect anymore. I bet that's going to happen with Unseen too. I have in my mind what I think are the flaws,
Right.
but they're going to see other stuff as flaws. It's just, I don't know. It's the way she goes, and
Well,
some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. You can't please everybody, so I've kind of learned to just just be accepting of. I just hope that some people like it. At the end of the day.
And that's it. The majority will, because most people are easygoing. But then you're gonna have those just nitpicky, crucial people.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing chainsaw stuff, right? Oh, I just that elitist chainsaw shit. I can't stand it. But for your side of it, it's like when we live in this. We bought this old Victorian home we live in right now. It's built in like 1904. It's just big rundown piece of shit we're fixing up. But every room that we go through and I fix up, I know every little imperfection because I lived it, I breathed it, just like you did with your movie. You know every little bit. But to the normal person that walks into our renovated bathroom, they're never gonna notice it. But of course, I point it out, and the wife goes, "Why are you doing that? Stop it!" Hey, you see that right there? That's we fucked that part up. but no, that's funny. But yeah, like you said, I mean, it's like you see it through a lens, but then other people, the perspective's different. Like you say, you go, "Oh my god, I didn't even notice that." Like that bothers you. Okay, You know, that's why I believe in such collaboration with people. It's just like, you know, I might have a
Exactly. Yeah.
vision of something and I might think I know how something's going to go, but I love input from others because there's just,
Oh
you know,
yeah.
it really helps to
Yeah.
just open your mind and perspective too, where it's just like maybe you don't take from that, but you at least go,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I don't look at it like that, but I'm glad you do because now maybe, you know, I do something different or maybe I don't, you know, it's
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, nobody's ever going to agree
Excuse me.
100% no matter what, but it is good to get that feedback just so that you can, you know, see if there is a better way to pull something off, you know. And
Right.
I think if we had more time, I hate to say it, if we had more time on Sawyer Massacre, we
Yeah.
could have made a much better film. I really do. It's just you know, there's even certain story stuff in the Sawyer Massacre that I'm like, I don't like that. I wish,
Sure.
but and then you think about it after, oh, this is what I should have done instead of that, you know. And
Yeah.
it's like that with almost everything. You know, you just when you don't have a huge team of people like just giving input, you know, it's
Yeah.
just you know, you just gotta trust your own instinct the best you can,
Sure.
and hope it turns out good, you know.
And
But you know,
I think
people
you're
seem to like Sawyer Massacre, so
I
for the
thought it
most
was
part,
excellent, and you know, I
it's
just
good to know.
man, I just say, you know, as a friend to a friend, quit beating yourself up on some of that small stuff, man. You made an excellent film. That was not some dog
My own
shit
worst
weird
critic.
thing, you know. Yeah,
I'm
and
my own
but
worst
rightfully
critic, you
so.
know.
I mean, you know,
Oh yeah,
and you should critique your own things too, just because that's the only way
yeah,
that you're going to grow, you know, and you know, being able to
exactly. Yeah,
accept criticism, that's really hard for a lot of people, you know,
it
and
is. It
you
is.
know,
Yeah.
but at least luckily with again with the magic of the internet, people will let you have it, man. They'll
Oh
fucking
yeah.
hammer you, you know, and
Oh yeah.
okay, you know,
If I see another bad review because of that damn truck, man, I was like, I
it's
still I don't get it though. I mean I do, but I don't. It's just such a small thing, but that and the chainsaw being on.
uh,
I love that chainsaw, by the way. I purposely picked that chainsaw
yeah.
because I thought it looked badass.
Oh,
You
it
know,
is
I thought
kick ass.
this is a badass chainsaw. It's time period accurate. And originally, you know, I was thinking I'll use the same one that they used in the original, but our movie predates that chainsaw.
Sure. Yeah.
So it didn't make sense to have, you know, have your movie take place in 65 and that chainsaw came out in 70, I think, when I did my research on it. So I mean, I did my research at least, you
Yeah.
know. I went back, you know, let's look for a 1950s chainsaw and you
Sure.
know, I found that one and I fell in love with it. And the guy was like, "Yeah, it works. You can get it running. You know, if the person's going to have to know what the hell they're doing if they can get it running." And he did get it running a bit, but not enough, I guess. You know.
Ah, they they all got to give it up. And I was just thinking, I'm like, if you ever did like a 4K re-release of it or something, right? You could
Yeah.
CGI in the blood from the next scene up above, but just to jab at those people, CGI in some spinning rims next time on that thing, and just be like, all right, fuckers, here,
Oh
just to
man.
drive you nuts.
Just to drive you nuts, exactly right. Yeah. But you know, I like it for what it is. You know, it's part of my filmography now, and it's the first feature film I released. So
Sure, that's your
I'm
baby.
excited to release my next feature film. I'm waiting to hear from Bayview on when they're actually going to release the movie and
Sure.
release the official trailer and all this wonderful stuff, and
Oh,
so
that's
I can
exciting,
really start
man.
promoting that. Yeah.
I can't wait to see that. Especially
And
you
that's
got Big Brett's in it too. God, that's
Brett's in it.
cool.
Yeah, we had some good people in it. Mike Ferguson. I don't know if you know who Mike Ferguson is.
I don't.
He's okay. He's done a lot of indie stuff. So he's pretty well known in the indie world. So,
Sure.
but yeah, I mean, and that one's kind of an homage to Black Christmas. So if you're a fan of that movie, the old Canadian classic Black
Sure.
Christmas.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of done in homage to it. It's that style of horror film, I guess you would say. The
Okay.
suspenseful kind of creepy type of film where you know, you got a killer that you don't know anything about, you don't see much and all that kind of
Okay.
stuff, and you're kind of wondering who the heck this person is, and a lot of POV from his point of view kind of thing. So yeah, look out for that. Unseen, it's called. I think it's coming out this year, but I can't say for sure.
Sure.
I hope it is.
Oh, dig it, man. So for everybody else that's watching too, what can you shout out like your YouTube page or you know
Sure.
where we can find this? You know,
Yeah, Sawyer Massacre's on the Sequanda Films YouTube page.
okay.
Sequanda, in case you're wondering how to spell it, Sequanda. Films,
Okay.
Wanda Films. So go check that out. Give it a subscribe if you can.
Yeah.
Go check out the movie. It's hard to find the movie because it was flagged a couple months after we released it. So you do have to be signed in as an 18 plus
Oh,
person.
okay.
I know that's such a pain in the ass. I know, but
Got it.
it's too bad it got flagged, and our views went down like so much.
Oh, that
since.
sucks.
Oh, I know. 2 months it went up to over 100,000 views, and here we are 3 years later. It's at 160,000 views.
Oh no, YouTube! Come on.
I know. It said that somebody had reported it. Somebody reported it for gory content or something.
Somebody
like
was butthurt. It was probably John Dugan. He goes, "You didn't put me in his grandma, you son of a bitch."
Hey, I practically begged the guy.
Yeah.
Trust me. No, he had his reasons, and I respect those reasons.
Of course, absolutely.
If he ever wants to tell you what those reasons are, I'll let him tell you. I'm not going to tell you, but he has perfectly good reasons for not.
Yeah.
He still helped me out with that concept trailer, so
sure,
that was very nice of him. Of course, I had to pay the guy, but at the same time, it was worth it.
It's all part of the business, right?
Have John Dugan playing Grandpa in a concept trailer. Hey,
exactly.
Pretty awesome. So yeah,
it's worth it just for your own personal satisfaction, like just
exactly.
Again, I like you said. I have the only time where Grandpa actually speaks, throughout the TCM. Like that's so cool, man, for him.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. John Dugan himself, the original, the OG himself. Has Grandpa ever spoken any of the other?
I don't think so.
Because there was that Leatherface prequel that came out. I'm trying to remember if there was Grandpa on that. Did he speak at all?
Yeah, the 2017 one. That's such an oddball one out of all of them too. I mean, you really gotta love the franchise.
It was a one-time watch for me, man. That's all I'll say.
I mean, Lionsgate, that it had some potential, but they really wanted to go for some shock value instead of, I don't know. It's weird. It's funny though to see throughout all the fans like how everybody ranks all the movies, because there's there's some passion for sure, and then there's some real hatred for some certain ones that come on. I go, I love them all, man.
You love them all. I mean, I don't like a lot of them, but at the same time, to say I hate. I mean, the only one I really truly love is the original. That's if I'm being totally honest. I want to love the remake, and I love about half the things in that remake. Like I absolutely love, but then the other stuff in that I absolutely hate. And it's hard. It's so polarizing, that film.
Yeah.
Like the intro. I love the intro with the way they did John Larroquette's narration over the police footage. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. The hitchhiker girl, when she was creepy as hell, just, oh my God, he's such a bad man. And you're all good. That was great. The characters, though, man, I don't know.
Yeah,
I have a hard time getting by those characters. They're so, like, Jessica Biel's really made one bad decision after another. It's just there's so much. I don't want to get into it, but there's the reasons why. It was so close. It was so close for me. I watched it in theater. I was there opening day.
Yeah.
When that movie came out, and I was like, and at the time, I'm young. I was a young 23-year-old kid when that came out.
Sure.
And I didn't understand why it wasn't quite working for me. And I think I had to get into filmmaking to sort of see all the things that were not working. It's one of those types of things,
Sure.
And once I learned the filmmaking process, it really put like why I love the original and why this one missed on so many levels, but hit on so many levels at the same time. Yeah. And I can kind of look at those things. I think, I kind of start to understand what it is,
Sure.
But, at the end of the day, it's probably my second favorite. It's probably my second favorite in the whole franchise, and, but nothing will top the original. Never.
No, it won't. And that's the part where I get so upset with, like I said, like the elitists of like when they just pick apart all these things. I go, you just need to just stop thinking for a second that another one's going to come out that's going to mirror that. I said that's just it's a time capsule. It's a certain time period. You'll never be able to do it again. And so just stop expecting that, and then just enjoy what's coming out. It's like we just. You know, I mean, we need a couple prerequisites, right? I mean, there needs to be a chainsaw. There needs to be a dude that's wearing faces of the fall. You know, I mean, that's kind of it. From there, I wish they get wacky with it. I mean, I just, you know, I was always expecting we'd see like a Jason X type, you know, throw Leatherface in space or something, or you know, or just some goofball shit. I'll still watch it, but you know, again, it takes a lot of money to make these films, and I get that too. So it's like you can't just purposely gonna go, I'm just gonna make something fucking goofy, but. You know.
I'm interested to see what they're going to do next.
Yeah.
Who got, was it A24 got the rights to it?
I don't think it's been
or
fully.
It hasn't been fully.
Yeah, I think it's still in a
something
bidding.
about that.
Yeah, so A24 seems to be the top contender for it, which I think would probably be a good move there.
Could be.
You know, I mean, of course, everybody else has got their other things. What if Rob Zombie did? I go, it's not going to happen. It would be a pretty good gory one, but you know, if we don't have to see Sherry again, and you know, she doesn't need to come into the chainsaw realm, you know, whatever, but. I like at least there's interest in it because, you know, if you're going to acquire the rights, you've got plans. You know, it's not just going to sit dormant. You know, I mean,
yeah,
you know,
I hope so.
I mean, it's like, you know,
case.
I mean, you know, Friday the 13th, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, we haven't seen those in a long time, you know. And,
I know.
You know, I mean, there's tons of fans there. You know, at least Halloween's been, you know, they've been pumping them out, whether they were good or not. Again, it's a new movie. I don't care, you know.
Yeah. You know, you're never going to be as pleased as you were with the originals. You know, I mean, it's, you know, I'm excited to hear. I'll be excited when a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre film is announced. And, you know, and I'm going to try to be as on board with whatever idea they got. Sometimes they tell you what the idea is ahead of time, and you're like, really?
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm still going to be there opening day, though. And, you know, but sometimes I tell myself maybe I shouldn't be. Well, maybe I should watch the trailer first, you know, because that I don't know, that happened with Texas Chainsaw 3D. And I watched the trailer. I remember not liking that trailer at all. And then I went into the movie thinking it can't be as bad as that trailer, and I don't know.
Yeah, those trailers can really give you a bias, you know, before you go in, and
but they should, because you know what, I actually kind of liked the red. It was a red band trailer for Leatherface. I thought, okay, this looks like it could actually be good. You could see there was gore in it. It was a red band trailer, obviously, and there wasn't really a lot of story given away. It was more of a teaser, but it felt creepy. I just remember there was like a weird tune playing in the background, just felt kind of that visceral feel to it, and I thought this could actually be a good movie.
Sure.
But then luckily they released another trailer after that did kind of make it look not my cup of tea, but you know, I still saw it anyways. At least I didn't have to go to the theater to watch that one. It was on like a website or something. I can't remember what it was on, like DirecTV, I think it was on.
Okay.
Remember that? Yeah, the 2017 one. It didn't go to theaters, that one. Neither did the last one.
Right. Yeah. No, it was weird. A lot of those Lionsgate films, they kind of seem to do that too, don't they? Like they just don't get a full release, but I don't
nowadays.
know.
I think you know, with COVID and everything, right? You see less and less with some of these movies, because even though that Netflix one that was the last one in 22, when they were first announced it, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the first announcement was Leatherface is going back to theaters, back to the big screen, right?
Okay.
And you know, ultimately he didn't. You know, he went to Netflix. You know, so it was kind of like, well, didn't they promise that it's going back to the big screen? Well, then Netflix bought it. So
yeah, I wonder if it was a money deal. You know, it was like, well, shit, this is a lot better up front, just a guaranteed payout instead of the nail biter at the box office. How's this going to do? And you know, maybe again, COVID probably played maybe that could have swung their
a little bit, because I think it was announced before COVID. If I remember.
Okay, sure.
I think so. Yeah, I think it was 2019. I think so.
Yeah. You talk about, like, you know, just of the unexpected things that could all of a sudden blow up and be like, oh, big production. All of a sudden, oh, nobody can actually go to a movie theater right now. They closed them all.
Yeah.
Shit. But you know, even that was supposed to be a trilogy too when they talked about it. You know, or at least the rumors were that they signed it for 3 films, and they obviously scrapped that. But you know,
I think Millennium Lionsgate distributed, but Millennium originally signed a 7-film deal.
Whoa.
For the Texas Chainsaw 3D Leatherface, and they made Leatherface only because Texas Chainsaw Saw 3D made a little bit of it wasn't much of a profit, but it made a little bit of a profit
Sure.
in the theaters. But I guess Leatherface really didn't make a profit. Really didn't make a profit. So yeah, I mean, and they shot it in Bulgaria. I honestly, I think the
that's crazy.
Bulgaria thing pissed a lot of people off.
I bet it did.
I don't think I would have raised some money for my film had
Right.
I honestly think that might have been a thing. You know, they were so happy that I was filming in Texas,
Sure,
and not Bulgaria. So
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I think. I could be wrong, but I kept hearing that. A lot of fans were like so mad that they were filming in Bulgaria.
Sure.
So not even in the US, but I know why. I mean, labor's cheaper there and everything like that.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. You look at the credits on all these films, all these weird Bulgarian names for like all the crew, and so I get it, but I don't know. It's called Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It should be filmed in Texas.
That's true.
At least
out of
some
principle.
of it needs to be. At least some of it needs to be filmed in Texas.
100%.
Yeah.
So I got one other question for you, definitely before we wrap this up or anything. Is that
Sure.
when you put this out or anything, was there any concern? Have you had any issues with the legality of, Vortex? I mean, we've seen the way that they've gone after the gas station even. I mean, even myself personally, I've got a cease and desist order for one of my merchandise shirts that my 11-year-old daughter drew. It doesn't even say Texas Chainsaw on it, and I got, stuff for there. How are you even able to kind of put that out there? Or is it just like wording? There's nothing ever that says Leatherface. There's nothing that says it, how does that?
It was definitely a concern when I first started doing it. Okay. And the recommendation I got from a friend of mine who's an entertainment lawyer, was to reach out to whoever owns the rights, which was Kim Henkel, Vortex. And I think Kim Henkel I couldn't find an email for him, but I found his son is actually running things. I can't remember his name, but
okay.
I emailed him, so that you at least make an email saying you're not making any money off of this thing. It's not going to be monetized, and just asking if it's okay. If you don't hear anything, or if you get a yes, go for it. If you get a no, that you're not, that they don't want you touching it, don't do it. But even still, after we made the movie and we're about to release it on YouTube, I guess my again, our production manager Chris Parcini said that he's in touch with somebody from Vortex. It wasn't Kim Henkel's son, but it was somebody that was running some things.
Okay.
And they were talking about sending me a cease and desist still at that point. And I don't know whatever happened to it, because I never got it. And maybe they're the ones that flagged it, for all I know. I have no idea. But it's not been removed from YouTube or anything. So, but you also have to put a disclaimer at the beginning of your movie, and that makes sense.
Okay.
I know a Halloween film got in a lot of trouble for that.
Really? Okay.
I heard that anyways. I heard it from somebody in the horror world that there was a Halloween fan film, and there's so many Halloween fan films, but one of them in particular got I don't know if they got sued or if I don't know. There was something going on where I think they must have made some money off of it. I don't know.
Okay. So is that something then going into it, that when you uploaded it to YouTube, you were able to like make a, check a box to say, do not monetize this regardless of, okay.
Yes, there's
that's a huge part of it.
Box. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
And I know some of these fan films still are monetized on YouTube. Because if you watch it and there's commercials, it's monetized. If you get ads through it, it's monetized.
Interesting.
So okay. I've watched a couple fan films that were like, there's an ad here. That must mean this is monetized. You could get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
Now, do they care? Like, we're talking pennies here.
Sure.
At this point, is a big studio going to spend all this time to sue somebody for maybe hundreds of dollars at the most, get their lawyers after them, pay all these legal fees for hundreds and hundreds of dollars? That people like me, probably not. But so I'm guessing whatever happened with that Halloween fan film must have been beyond Now.
Sure.
I don't know, but I don't know the details, but I know, or maybe they got shut down. Maybe they got shut down during production or something like that. I
Okay.
don't really know. Surprised I didn't get. I could have seen that coming for me. I
Yeah.
was right in Texas. I
Well, yeah,
was
you're right in the heartland down there.
right in the heart of Texas. I never heard back from Kim Henkel's son. I never
Sure.
heard back. I just kind of assumed it was a yes. I was not hearing
Yeah.
anything from anything saying don't make this movie.
Right.
And I was promoting it. We're shooting it right in Texas, so nothing happened. No, I didn't get anybody coming with a cease and desist letter while we're filming it at any point. So I guess I guess they didn't care enough. But you
You
know,
know, and hey, and if anything, if something did happen, you can at least have the proof. Well, I tried to reach out. You know, you didn't just
oh
blatantly
yeah,
whatever.
oh
So
yeah.
fuck it.
I
Oh,
still got the email, and I got the email that
well,
predates the filming of the movie. That's for sure. So
yeah, it's all water under the bridge now. Screw
yeah,
it.
at this
It's out.
point,
It's for everybody to watch. And
yeah.
fucking
If they did make me remove it now, I probably wouldn't care at this point
yeah,
because it's not getting a ton of views these days because it was flagged. And I kind of wish it didn't get flagged, but and I guess I could just re-upload it, but I gotta move on, man. It's got
yeah,
160,000 views. I'm happy with that.
sure,
It's not all about getting a million views like a lot of people want. I think it definitely would have got a million views
sure.
easily,
Well, the way
but
that was going,
the way it was going, at 2 months, it was over 100,000
yeah.
views. So, yeah, it was going to make a million views.
Have you ever
But
like fucked with Rumble at all? Like,
I
thinking about
haven't. I
posting
keep
on there?
hearing stuff about all these different platforms, but I haven't yet. I
Yeah.
probably should. I probably should check out all these different platforms because
Yeah. Well, I
yeah,
know
is it
there's a
pretty
million
good?
of them out there, but I put mine up on Rumble too because it
Mm,
really is like the only real rival to YouTube, and the
okay.
claim to fame there is the lack of all these community standards and strict,
Oh, okay.
just things that they'll flag you and shadow ban you or shut you down for, so that's why you see like some of like the more, I guess, controversial podcasts, like more, I guess
Yeah.
more like politically controversial, right? Or something like that, where,
Yeah.
they
Okay.
just, it's more of a freedom type of a platform. And it looks just like YouTube. I mean, it's just a
Oh
different
yeah.
paint
Does
job
it?
on it. So, but yeah, I'm
I'll have to
dabbling with
check it
that
out.
too. It's
Yeah.
interesting, but I don't know. I just think, you're an artist, you made a piece of art, and for that to be kind of throttled and, and cut off from just people that would generally enjoy finding that, stumbling across it, that sucks, so maybe,
You know what? It is what it is. I think for all I know, it wasn't the people that own the rights. It probably wasn't. I mean, I had a lot of people. I didn't make a lot of friends during that time. A lot of people were kind of, I don't know. No, it's true though. I mean, the indie film world can be pretty nasty, and
sure.
there was several people that I, had met in that world, and things didn't end well. I'm not going to mention any names or anything, but there was more than a few though. So I mean, it's probably one of those people, and
Yeah.
that's okay. If they really felt it that necessary, they really hated me that much that they had to flag my film. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. I let stuff go. At the end of the day, you have to let stuff go. People, not everybody's gonna like you.
Yep.
Not everybody's. Some people are gonna call you a con artist for making a fan film, and taking people's money on
Whatever.
Indiegogo for making a fan film.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. I. It's
But
a film.
that's the Canada in you though. Being a northerner myself,
I guess.
we're a little easier going, and just hey, oh
Oh
well.
yeah. Oh yeah, man. Have you heard our Canadian national anthem?
Oh yeah.
Not the one you probably think, but we have another Canadian national anthem.
Okay.
It's called Out for a Rip. I should share you the video.
Please
And
do.
it's so Canadian.
Awesome.
But it's awesome. And you could probably relate to it since you're from Minnesota, because it's pretty much that general area of Canada anyways, like the mid. Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
I'll share that with you. You'll love it.
Absolutely excellent. Well, Steve, I think we should wrap it up here, man. This has been a beautiful show. I'm so glad you popped on, man. When your next one comes out, I would absolutely love it if you come back.
I love that,
But
man. It's been great. If you're a fan of other 70s classics like Black Christmas, you'll probably like Unseen. You'll probably like it because it's very much an homage to that movie, just not set at Christmas time.
Awesome. Well, everybody again watching, make sure you check out his YouTube channel, subscribe there, follow you. You on all the social medias and stuff, or are you just kind of a Facebook guy, or what?
I'm on Instagram too. I have several different Instagrams, but I'm on my next movie account right now, which is unseen dot underscore unseen dot movie is what it is. That's where you can find me the most. There's one for the Sawyer Massacre too. Can't remember what the handle is for that. I think it's like Massacre at Sawyer, something like that. I don't know. Just search the Sawyer Massacre. You'll find it on there too. Yeah, you'll find all that stuff on Instagram. I don't use it a lot, but I do go on there.
Sure.
Whenever I can. I'm even on Twitter, but I like never use Twitter, or X as it's called now these days.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
Yeah. It can be too much. When you're in the middle of an Indiegogo campaign, it's really exhausting.
Absolutely.
Glad I'm not trying to raise money right now.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Well, again, thank you for everything you did, man. I really appreciate it. I'm excited to see what you got in the future. And this is it, brother. So you have yourself a good weekend, man. And thanks again for everything.
All right. Thanks for having me.
All right. See you, everybody.
All right. See you guys.
In the vast expanse where the cosmos sighs, drifts an ancient tale as old as the skies. A figure from stories now mythified, Space Corpse goes orbiting by. He once roamed planets, far and wide, but now he floats where the starships fly. No more breath in his chest, yet can't be denied the space cadet who died. Oh, Space Corpse, in the void you glide, a spectral waltz in the galaxy's tide, floating free like a cosmic guide. Space Corpse goes orbiting by. Galaxies turn while he haunts with pride. No anchor to worlds, just space to bide. Gliding through stardust, no need to hide. This wanderer who never cried. In weightless silence where time collides, he drifts in dreams so amplified. Mysterious tales on mystic rides. Space Corpse haunts so dignified. Oh, Space Corpse, in the void you glide, a spectral waltz in the galaxy's tide, floating free like a cosmic guide. Space Corpse goes orbiting by. Galaxies turn while he haunts with pride. A spectral waltz in the galaxy's tide, floating free like a cosmic guide. Space Corpse goes orbiting by.